Cheers, my friends.
Wait, we have to tell the story about these.
We already
gotta
talked
cheers
about
first.
it. But they're getting melty.
To the elites.
To the upper class. All right.
Some people search for Choco Tacos to no avail. And then
Not
some
us.
people stop at a random gas station and buy 15 of them.
Listen. I
It
panicked.
do be the recession out here.
It do be the recession.
God.
Damn.
Gosh, you guys already had them last week. This is my first time having it.
You guys had one last week?
No.
No.
You bastards. You ate one in the car without me? Oh
Me
my
and
god.
Annie ran. When I tell you she ran with an entire sack of them out of this gas station, let's go.
I walked out and I made eye contact with Ryan. I'm holding this black bag. And I'd gone in, I was like, I'm just gonna check here. Because we had gone for what, an hour, 2 hours, 3 hours after the podcast last week?
Last week when we recorded.
Yeah, we searched everywhere, couldn't find them. And so I was like, Ryan and I were getting gas. I was like, Ryan, I'm going to look in here. It wasn't even our first thought.
I was like, oh, the Arco? Yeah, they'll have them.
I was like, sure, okay. I walked in, I saw them, I panicked. I started just shoving them into my arms. And then I went to the cash register, right? And I put down, he goes, 11. And I said, let me get a couple more. Just I don't know how many people we have. As if there were
You're
fake
trying to
people.
pretend.
Like as if I was buying this for a group that was bigger than 4 freaking people. And then I didn't even 15.
That's probably for the best.
Yep.
But that means one of us only gets to eat 3 of them, and the rest of us get to eat 4 of them.
Well, you guys already ate 2.
This is a real hard math dilemma.
I want to read you guys.
Are you going to do the intro or what?
What?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, shoot. Welcome back to What the Podcast. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
And together we are
Ryan and John.
on the couch, as always, producer Cara Tafolla and the lovely Annie the Skovmand. I want to read you
The best
guys
part of this is the chocolate shell.
a little piece of a review that we got this week.
Oh shit.
It's a good review.
Good.
This is a great podcast for anyone who loves to talk about pop culture. Ryan, John, Annie, and Cara are all great hosts who are really funny and know a lot about the entertainment industry. They have some really great guests on the show, and they always have interesting things to say. If you're looking for a new podcast to listen to, I highly recommend What the Podcast. Each week, the hosts discuss a different topic related to pop culture. They talked about everything from movies and TV shows to music and celebrities. They always have something interesting to say, and they are always willing to debate with each other.
Your mom wrote that, huh?
This was written by an AI program.
No.
Yes.
What?
This is a fake review. There's this thing called AI Playground that I've discovered this week.
Nice.
And I typed in, write a review of What the Podcast, starring Ryan, John, Annie, and Cara. And it just
That's what
types
it
it up.
spit
It's
out.
so, I got to show it. Maybe we could show it on the show, but,
That's so creepy because it's accurate.
right? It just pulls the information and it just makes up stuff. In practice, it's so much crazier to me, but yeah, we'll have to do that after the show. Maybe we'll do a little Ryan and John react to that
there we go.
situation. But hey, guys, we're famous. We're in the media now.
Wow.
We're in the AI computer
Huge.
brain.
Man.
So
Speaking of famous
here comes the
people.
hype house, right?
Oh, Year of the Hype House. Around the corner.
Any minute now. What
Looking
month
at-
are we in? August?
Oh, yeah. I've been looking at real estate options for us. I got a
Thank
couple
you.
sending your way.
Good.
So
Thank
working with
you.
the Redfin agent.
Oh, great.
Her name is Destiny. She's great. Used to be a stripper, not anymore. She really
You
turned her
told
life
that
around.
whole backstory of her.
Wow.
You just make that up?
Yeah.
Incredible.
Nothing's real anymore, John.
I will say I did trick Ryan as I was late to the podcast today, parking, and he goes, "Where are you?" And I said, "What do you mean? We have something going on? Classic bit, classic bit." He's like, "Yeah,
Classic.
no,
You
did gaslight
no,
him
just
pretty
wanted,
hard.
just want to know where you are." And I was like, "I'm at Monaco doing work. Why?" He's like,
You're dead serious?
"No, you're not." I'm like, "Yeah, why?"
What an unfunny bet.
And he's like,
by the
Annie,
way.
seriously? I was like, I'm literally parking. Get over yourself. You're an idiot. Yeah, you
It's
have
our new
something to do.
tradition is taking a shot.
Taking a shot before the podcast.
I just shoved that
genius.
entire ice cream thing in my mouth.
It's
Hold
called
on.
a Choco Taco. Have some respect.
It's called a Choco Taco Shadow.
It's called a 33 carb.
This is
grams
proper
of
12.
carbs.
Thank you,
Ice
Hamburger.
cream.
Hey, wait. Can you cut to my camera?
Gosh.
Bottoms up.
And mine says tits out. No, I'm just kidding. It says suck them up. That is so interesting. 1, 2, 3.
You already did
1, 2,
it.
3. Suck
This is
them
not
up.
a good thing to start doing. Gosh.
No, it's just like a fun little quirky little podcast thing.
Wow.
As long as the shot glasses are here, that's how we start the show.
I was listening to this podcast called Friday Beers,
Okay.
That's rude, but go ahead.
and they drink beers. They record on Friday. They drink beers throughout the podcast.
That's why
and
they call
talk.
it that.
And I was like, man, and you could just every once in a while hear him opening up one. I was like, damn. That
Just like
sounds
the
a
ASMR.
like, man, I literally, it made me want to crave a beer while we podcasted today.
Really?
It made you want
Yeah.
to crave a beer.
Well, it made me crave
But not
it.
actually do it.
Yeah.
No. She doesn't actually crave beer. Go ahead. You were mid-transition before we started
Mid-transition
drinking whiskey.
To
Speaking of celebrity. Yeah.
Beyonce's been in the news for
That's
multiple
right.
reasons. I just found out. Cara just shared with
Finally,
me.
she's been like on a hiatus for the
Beyonce.
last 5 years. She hasn't really done
Beyonce.
much.
Well, let's find out why.
Well, over a word that
Okay.
I didn't know was an insult, really.
Yeah, you mentioned this briefly as the podcast started.
So
And I'm going to say it
you say it.
in hopes that it's known that we're just discussing this word. Apparently the word spaz,
Yeah.
S-P-A-Z, is
Derogatory.
offensive. Yes.
In the UK, right?
In the UK. Because
Because in America, it's not necessarily offensive, right?
no, I guess not,
know.
but maybe
Unless it's starting
As
to be
things
Well,
go,
weird.
because
you-
you call people spat. Like when we were kids, you used to like.
I
oh,
guess
you're
that is
spaz,
like
you're kind of
you're
hyper.
such a
you're,
spaz,
you're
like you're-
crazy.
yeah.
You're out of control.
Not in
See,
the
I
UK
feel like
though.
I usually call it, which maybe that's why it's derogatory. I feel like I usually call it to like a dog. It's like, oh my
What
gosh,
a
the dog is
spaz.
spazzing
like,
out.
oh, you're spazzing,
Spazzing out,
right?
yeah.
Yeah.
Spastic.
Okay.
So
What does it mean in the UK though?
I don't know. All I know is
You
that
brought this
I
topic and you don't know what spat. What's up with the
where it
controversy
was bad.
about?
All I knew is she recorded a song with Spaz. People started freaking out. I read an article where they literally, I had to like Google the lyrics of the song
It
because
is comparable to the R word.
oh
Like
yeah, that's
yes.
messed up then. If that's what if you
Yes.
feel like
But
it represents.
It brings up a great question though. Like, Beyonce, she is a world-renowned like star. Obviously,
Yeah.
Yes.
she's global. But like, can you fault her for using a word? Because for her, I guess I'd have to know the context. Because if she was
It's-
using it in the context of like
I believe
how we
it's-
thought, which
I
is like
believe
you're just a
the-
hyper crazy person.
The lyric is Spaz on that ass.
Oh my god.
okay.
I believe that is
okay.
It's not a lot
So
of context.
that is like a fully different definition of the word. I feel like.
yeah. So but she is re-recording it with a different lyric.
Of course she
What
is.
is that lyric gonna be?
It makes sense. It makes sense, doesn't it? Like you're gonna freak out when you're doing it, right? Like I'm gonna
Yeah.
spaz
Yeah.
on
in
that ass.
the American, that's what I'm saying though. Like whether or not she is a world renowned star, I mean she is an American. She like grew up in America, and
Right.
so it's like for
Yeah.
her the definition of spaz is different. So the question becomes like, are we scanning every single lyric
Yeah.
before we make a song to say like, oh well, this in the UK actually means this, or
You
this
would
in
think that
Well,
Germany
because in
actually
the-
means
a
this.
worldwide, personality phenomenon. Like you would think that they'd
Yeah,
somebody
her
would,
people let her down on
manager.
So
But this
flip it
is a new
flip it
thing,
the other
though.
way. In
What do
the
you mean?
UK, they still say fag as a cigarette, right?
That's right.
They
that
still
is
say that.
A slang term is the word fag for like a cigarette.
Yeah. So if there was
Now-
a music artist in the UK, I mean, I would hope that they would know
Right.
what
Yeah.
we see that as here in the US.
Because if I just heard a British person say, "Hey, can I shag a fag?" I'd be like, "Whoa,
Whoa,
what?"
whoa. Yeah.
and you're like,
I don't know if
whoa.
you use that right.
Well, yeah, it's like, can I
Shag,
grab, like,
take-
can I
Oh.
take a
Oh,
cigarette?
No, actually, shag is that's an Austin Powers thing. Like we're shagging, baby.
Yeah, but also
I knew what you meant.
shag
Yeah,
is
thank
like borrow, right?
Yeah.
Is it?
Yeah. Shag. I
I've
think-
heard.
You only
Amen.
know that from Austin
Yeah.
Powers.
No, I was gonna say I've heard bum a
Shag it,
fag.
baby.
Like
Oh, yeah,
let me
bum a
bum
cigarette.
a cigarette off of you.
Yeah.
Which
it's the same
also could be taken in the wrong
Yeah,
context.
that's also bad.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's
but I think
interesting.
it's in the way that you use it, right?
Yeah.
I
like
think
we're not saying it in any way derogatory right now.
Yeah, I think Beyonce. I mean, she's fixing it.
Yeah.
Probably because she knows her sales are going to go up if
Well,
she does.
it
but
made me really wonder. So, in a different on a different note, this goes off of lyrics changes.
Sure.
I've been listening to a lot of Kids Bop.
Okay.
I love Kids Bop.
Listen,
Kids Bop is so
That Kids
It's
Bop
so
is just
funny.
freaking
If you have a moment, you go listen to "Truth Hurts" by Kids
No.
Bop.
Oh yeah, it hits.
a classic.
And by the way,
are you talking about the Lizzo song?
but
Truth
yes,
Hurts,
but it's
but the
by
Kids Bop
Kids Bop
version.
version.
by the way, as somebody who we DJ on the side, Ryan and I
Yes,
both, and
yes.
we both have done elementary schools, DJing at like festivals or dances and stuff. The kids sing the real words, 100%.
Oh, yeah.
Like
Yeah.
they know the
So-
words.
Oh, you're talking about the kids at these schools.
Yeah,
I was
they know the
listening-
real words.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
And so you can play the Kids Bop version, but they're singing the real stuff.
I was listening to Kids Bop,
Okay.
and I was listening to Thrift Shop
Okay.
by Kids Bop.
Oh, it's another
And-
banger.
What they changed is the lyric "poppin' tags." They changed it to
I'm gonna
"rocking
pop some
tags."
Yeah,
gonna
because
rock some
popping
tags.
tags is like stealing.
Stealing. Oh, I didn't think about that.
So I never knew that. I just thought
Yeah.
like, oh, I'm just gonna go buy
Okay,
it. And
Wait,
I'm gonna read the lyrics to
Popping
Truth Hurts.
tags. Oh,
Stealing,
like
you're
you're
yeah,
taking
popping
the
it
tags
off.
off
Yeah.
and you're wearing it out.
I never knew that either.
yeah.
Poppin'
So they
tags.
changed it, and I was like,
Wait,
why
wait,
is that?
don't
So
say
I'm
it.
gonna-
They changed
I knew that.
that.
It's like
I
in
didn't
the
know that.
context of the song.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Like I'm gonna go to the thrift shop and steal some
Yeah.
stuff.
See, but then he says only got $20 in my pocket, so I just figured he'd.
No,
bought
he
it
only
and
has
then
20
ripped
bucks
the-
in his
Yeah, I
pocket.
thought it was like popping.
and so he's stealing so he can get
popping
more.
them off after
In
he
my
bought
mind,
them.
yeah, like this tag is popping.
No.
Like it's only $1 or something.
Okay, ready? Ready? Why are you great till you gotta be great? Woo. I just took a DNA test. Turns out I'm 100% that kid.
Yes, damn
Even
right.
when I'm crying crazy, yeah, I got some problems. That's a human in me. Bling bling, then I solve them. That's the goddess in me. You could have had a good friend, non-committal. Help you with your career, just a little. You're supposed to hold me down, but you're holding me back, and that's the sound of me not calling you back. Why you're great till you gotta be great. Don't text
By
me.
the
Why are
way-
you great till you've
And then
got to be
it's all
great?
the same.
By the way, the kids that sing on that track,
The chorus is all the
they're
same.
stars.
Hey guys,
Stars.
if you're out here listening and you sing or have sung on a Kids Bop track,
Please let us know.
Please call us.
Oh
We'd
my
love
God.
Please, that
to
would be
get
the
you on the
greatest
show.
interview.
Love to talk to that.
Right?
Oh, you tried to break my heart. Oh, that breaks my heart. Thought you ever had. No, you ain't from the start. Hey, I'm glad you're back with your friends. I mean, who would ever hide this? I will never.
So
ever,
they
ever-
just
I will-
replaced-
I will never, ever, 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 ever want it like that.
Okay,
And
that's
so-
Instead of,
be your
Oh.
side
I will never,
chick.
ever, ever, ever be your
Okay.
side chick. They couldn't even
Okay.
rhyme it.
So
no.
I
Oh.
remember.
And they won't. And they won't.
I remember.
Go
I gotta
ahead.
pull it up. So in high school, they released a Kids Bop, which they've done for the past 20 years.
Yeah,
every
they're
year.
on like Kids
They're
Bop
like
like
40.
98
Yes.
or something like that.
And the song, you remember the song "All About That Bass"?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
Man, this
I got a
is
funny
so
story
good.
about that. But
Megan
yeah.
Trainor
All
lover.
About.
I got a funny story about all about that bass.
She's all over my TikTok.
Go ahead and tell it
blowing
as
up.
I prep this.
So I was doing a kids dance, and they, all these kids wanted this song, and it was a really vulgar song. Like I looked the lyrics up, and I was like, I don't feel comfortable playing this.
Yeah.
You're talking about All About That Bass?
No, a different song.
Oh,
It was
okay.
a different song. I don't remember the song was, and the kids kept requesting it. And I kept telling the kids, I'm like, hey, that's why they hire me mostly is to make sure that the songs are appropriate. You know,
Yeah.
that's kind of my job, mainly in a school environment. So I said, no, I'm not playing it. And then finally, the lady who hired me, she was like PTO president or something, comes up to me, and this was a random school, really, genuinely. I've never been back, and probably why. And she's like, hey, can you play this song? The song the kids were mentioning. And I said, hey, just so you know, like, I don't feel comfortable playing it. Like, it's very inappropriate. And she's like, you know what? Just play it. And
Whoa.
I was like, you know what?
Okay.
I'll play it. So
Here
I
I
played
go.
the song. I mean, she hired me, right? And so, and I told her my concerns. I mean, I was very clear, and I thought, you know what, whatever. So I played the song. Kids love it because the kids, you hear it on the radio,
They have
and,
no idea
and there's
what it
radio
is.
edits that
No.
have words like shit and damn or whatever. Like they have some of those words in it. The radio edits do.
Sure.
And so they loved it. It kicked off, right? And then I go to play All About That Bass. Well, there's one word in All About That Bass that used the word shit, I think, is in it.
Yeah. That shit ain't real. Let's
Yeah.
make it stop. Yeah.
Right.
Okay.
So I play the song, and as the song starts, and I know the song, and I know where the S word is, but
Okay.
so I usually I'll just dip the music out real
Yeah.
quick. No big deal, right? Because it's a great song. Everyone loved it at
Yes.
the time.
Okay.
This mom walks in, very Karen-esque, and I saw her. I remember seeing her walk in and going, "Ooh, she looks like bad news."
you
Play the
clocked her
song
right away.
And I normally dip the volume, but I was like, you know what, whatever. Like we just played this vulgar song, like one S word. It's gonna really we're
How
not gonna,
vulgar are
you know
we
what I'm
talking
saying?
on that last song?
Oh, it was a lot.
What
It
song?
had F bombs. I don't remember what it was, but it was like it was like a very
like a
like
Drake
weird
song?
popular song. Honestly, a lot of it was in Spanish. I remember it was a Spanish artist
Despacito.
that did it,
No.
but
It's probably
but there
like
was an English version. It was
Like
English
Bad Bunny or
support- Yeah,
something?
something
Oh,
like
okay.
that. It wasn't Bad Bunny, but it was like the artist like Bad Bunny.
How do kids get a hold of that? Oh,
I don't know.
anyways,
They
go
loved it.
ahead.
And so then it comes up. The word shit comes out, and I'm like, no big deal. The mom beelines for my booth.
Oh.
She goes, "Hey, you know this just said the S word," and I said, "Yeah, I
you
know. I
listen
just
to the
I
last
told
one?
I told her I said I talked to the person who hired me, and she said not to worry too much about the bad words, and she's like, well, you should probably turn it off." And I said, "You want me to stop it right now in the middle of the song? Like it's already passed. We're already halfway through the song."
happened.
And she's like, well, it said the S word, like super condescending. So I reach over and I mute the song. The whole thing just like halts because I mute the song, and I'm like,
And she's
I get
still
on the mic
standing
and I
there.
go, "I'm sorry, guys. We got a request to turn that song off." And all the kids are like,
Nice.
"Oh!"
You're so
and the lady's
nice.
standing right there. And I just changed the song, but she was the worst. And the school never called me back, believe it or not. I don't know why.
That's strange.
know
That was
why.
the
I know
the
why.
principal that walked in.
So yeah, that's
Believe it or
all
not.
about that bass. And every time I hear that song, I think of that story and that stupid
That's
mom
funny.
who's just like, it said the S word.
The S word.
And I'm
is
like,
so good.
Screw
Gosh.
you. Yeah, anyways, what
You're
was
like
the Kids
S-
Bop version?
F you in the S right now. bro. There's a lyric in the song all about that bass, and it
Yeah.
says, "I'm bringing booty back."
Yeah.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
You tell me what the Kids Bop version
Ooh, okay, I love
sounds
this
like.
game.
Oh, this is kind of interesting.
What it sounds like?
You
Oh
tell me-
no.
you
I'm
t-
bringing
no.
friendship back.
All good answers. Yes,
Okay.
probably. Whatever you're thinking.
Okay.
I'm bringing poopy back.
Okay.
No,
maybe,
I think
maybe.
you're saying, I'm bringing. Ooh, I don't know.
No, you're saying that
Smoothies.
it's supposed to be something,
I'm
but it
bringing
sounds like
smoothies.
something
That's
else.
it.
Right?
You're right.
I'm
Okay.
bringing
Smoothies.
smoothies
You
back.
guys listen to it and tell me
Oh,
what you
gosh.
think they've replaced it
Jeez.
with.
Bass, bout that bass, no trouble. I'm all about that bass, bout that bass. Hey, I'm bringing it on back.
Oh my god! No.
Oh,
No.
it's I'm bringing it all back.
They sing, "I'm bringing it all back."
I'm bringing
And
it
that
all back.
sounds just
not what
like
they said.
anal.
I'm gonna play
Are
it
you
one more
kidding
time
me?
for you.
That bass, bout that bass. Hey, I'm bringing it on back.
They really
bad.
messed up
Really-
on that one.
They really
That
no one
is
checked that.
rough.
You know, actually, no one.
I bet you
someone
somebody
did.
heard it,
Some
and they said-
25-year-old who's working
Yep.
editing all those stupid
Yep.
songs. Who's like,
He's like,
I'm gonna
"This is
make it in the
funny."
music business, and he heard it and he went, "We're keeping it."
Yep. He's like, I don't care. This is funny.
That made us laugh.
Wait, that's like the
For
best. That's like the
hours.
best game.
Yeah.
It's like take a lyric of a song and
Guess
what
what
did
they
Kids
changed
Bop
it?
change it to?
That is kind of funny.
Why would they change it to I'm bringing it all back?
I'm bringing
for
it all
what?
back
Wh-
instead of
why
booty.
would they change it
bringing
to like
smoothies
I'm
back.
100% that kid? Like
Why would
I'm
they try,
100% human.
Some of these songs
Yeah.
seems like a minefield if you're considering them like
Well-
right, like the S word. You're like, we can't
So-
put any
But
S
let's
words
be
in it.
real. Like this Kids Bop is out to make parents feel safe. I mean,
Oh, yeah.
they can put whatever they want in these
Yes.
areas.
and the
but the
parents are
people
gonna buy
put
it
on.
because it's safe for
Oh,
sure.
I
Yeah,
play Kids Bop at a number of anything I do at a school. I'm playing Kids Bop.
But what's so funny is I feel like Jason Derulo, out
Mm-hmm.
of all of his songs, Jason Derulo's been around forever.
Yeah.
He only has one Kid Pop song because the themes
Is it
of
Talk
his
Dirty to Me?
songs.
Oh, too bad.
His themes of his songs are
Yeah.
so bad that they literally can't
Oh
make
my
Kids Pop
gosh!
without
I
it.
will say that Jason Derulo's song. There was one album. It was the one that Wiggle
Wiggle,
came out of.
Wiggle.
I don't know what it was, but that album, like every song was just like, oh my god,
That was pretty
the fact that
good.
you could do that.
I just looked up the worst Kids Bop lyric changes.
Let's
there
hear
you
it.
go.
that's it.
The
Give us,
first
like,
one.
top
So what?
Give us like the top
three.
feel.
Top three.
Okay, well,
Just the
the-
top three.
The number one
Okay.
is the Nicki Minaj from Starships. Instead of higher than a mother, they go.
Thank you.
They go. We're Kids Bop and we're taking over.
Yes.
Yeah.
And then
that's true.
in
Bop and
Wake
we're
Me Up When
taking
September
over.
Ends, instead of like my father's come to pass, like the time has come to pass.
Like
What?
the because his dad's dead, but don't want to talk
We
about.
don't want to talk about dead
dads.
dads
Yeah.
because it's Kids Pop.
What?
Um,
There's such a choice.
But then there was one song that we
Oh,
listened
this
to.
one's bad.
we
Let's hear
listened
it.
to one Kids Bop song that like they didn't change the theme of it at all.
No.
And I was like, what? Then what was the point of changing some like lyrics around if the message of the song is the same?
Well, because I think at some point, like these songs, especially newer songs, the kids recognize kind of the tone, right?
Yeah.
So you can't change the main
and
parts
they-
of it
they
if there's
see
no
right
bad
through it.
words.
I was gonna say,
you know,
at the last gig you had me do, John, the DJ gig, I played one or two Kids Bop songs. But those kids, man,
love
they
it.
know. Well, no, they know.
Oh, yeah,
At this
yeah.
gig, they knew. They were like, "This is the Kids Bop version." I was like, "Yep, it is."
Yeah.
They're like, "Play the real version." I'm like, "No."
Oh, by the way, yeah, the kids
Yeah.
also in schools for just for the record, they come up. The amount of times I have to announce saying, if you know it's a bad song, don't come up
suggest
here
it.
Yeah.
because they know they know.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, bro, and they'll tell me, and I'm go, I literally go, I can't play
And
that.
I know for a fact that they're suggesting songs that they've heard on TikTok. Because
it's a lot
I
of
had somebody
TikTok.
come up and say, "Can you play the song Tiptoe Through the Tulips?" I was like, "I don't know what that is." And he goes, "Oh, it's from
It's not.
It's
and
like,
a
Tiny
total
Tim,
game
right?
changer. Yeah, yeah. It's in Insidious. It was like they use it in Insidious.
I was like,
scary
Yeah.
movie.
I'm not gonna do that. Really?
Okay.
In the middle of this school dance?
I could go
Ready?
into it.
Yeah,
but
what's
I'll wait.
that third one?
Well, this is before I leave, brush my teeth with a bottle of Jack. Cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming back. 2, before I
okay.
leave, brush my teeth, and then I go pack. Cause when I leave for the night, I ain't coming
I'm
back.
go
going to
sleepover.
Disneyland.
And then
Sleepover, so
for
good.
Shut Up and Dance, instead of this woman's my destiny, this girl, she is my destiny.
This
But what's it-
girl
see, but
is
that's
my
the thing is,
Like,
destiny.
what's the difference? Yeah.
It's so
Because
stupid.
they're kids, man.
Well,
Really?
not
What's
a
it?
woman, a girl.
And
Oh,
then it's-
instead of we just want to see ya shake that in Party Rock, it's we just want to see
I don't
ya
know how they pulled
dance
Party
that.
Rock.
Dance that.
well,
But
yeah,
I'll be
there's, like,
honest, I played Party Rock at school
Party
dances.
rockin'
It's really not that bad.
And then
A
in
lot of those
California,
songs-
Girls,
That's a good
the
one.
boys break their necks trying to creep a little sneak peek at us. That line.
Okay.
Boys break their necks trying to act a little crazy.
Trying to act a
little
little crazy.
Yeah, that works. That's interesting. Maybe I'll go through and make a quiz. That'd be kind of fun.
That's
I'm
it. That
sure
is
it
kinda
exists.
interesting.
You know?
Real lyric
Look,
or kids
so
bop?
let's recenter here. So we're
Oh,
talking
sorry,
about
go
Beyonce. No, you're right on. I'm with this.
But
Thank
so
you.
my thing is, she should
This
hire
podcast.
the Kids Bop writers
Yes.
to look over songs
On
to
Be-
be like, hey, yeah, we would change this from poppin' to rockin'.
No, they
but like
guaranteed
just
Kids
so
Bop
you
would have
know.
kept Spaz. They would have kept it. Kids Bop would have kept Spaz.
Do you think
I
Kids
would
Bop
love
would've
to
known?
go back to the original Kids Bop and see what they kept or like had them sing. Where I'm like, nowadays would never fly with Kids Bop.
So should Beyonce change it, or like is she at fault?
No, I don't think
Oh,
so.
she's definitely not
Just
at fault because she didn't
Because
know.
we don't
It's a
have
different
the
culture.
same, right? We don't have the same culture. Is she predominantly an American artist? Yes, probably, but
I think what
Or do you
it
think
is-
that's gonna come into like the U.S. soon? Like, oh, spaz is not a word you use anymore.
No, let me tell you.
I mean, look, let's
don't
let's
think
go
so.
back.
There's
10,
tons of
20
slang.
years, right? The R word, the word,
Yeah.
oh, that's retarded, was like totally fine.
10
That
years
was like
ago.
normal
Maybe, yeah, 10
nomenclature
years ago.
in
Well, us
movies and
growing
TV.
up, like that was like a little joke you would say.
Right,
Yeah.
exactly.
I will
and now
say
obviously
this is
Now
kind of
it does
interesting.
Not really.
take me back when I hear it from
It's
people.
kind of interesting
Yeah.
because I was just watching a UK YouTuber today,
Uh-huh.
and I'll give you like a overview of the video just because
Please.
it'll help give context. But basically, he went to Arkansas because in Arkansas there is the
Interesting.
the national director of the KKK, which is so random.
Oh.
yes.
And he went there and he met with this guy, interviewed him, and he had this
David
guy.
Duke.
Uh,
David Duke? Or the new one?
Rob something. I don't know.
Okay, Rob Zombie.
And he interviewed this guy and he had him say a bunch of like, he used like organization names, or he told him that they were the whole thing was like kind of trolling this guy. And he was having him use all these words that are UK slang terms that I had never seen before.
Okay.
And he had, like brought him up on the screen of like the UK slang term for this. It
Oh.
means like this. And like, so there's a whole other dialect. I don't even know if you would call
Oh,
it
yeah.
dialect of UK slang words, because one of them, there was one for pedophile that I was like, I never heard of in my life. But in the UK, they use it as a slang term for pedophile. And so he like tried to get this guy to say it, and he did.
like a grubby or something.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
And so I will say there is an extensive language in the UK or slang term, just like
Sure.
there is in America. There's slang terms.
Yeah.
And so I think it's impossible as a creative and as a writer to like scan all that, to know all that. I will say that Beyonce's people should have known. Like somebody in her crew,
Yes.
like she's not a solo art. I mean, she's a solo artist technically, but she's not like an unrepresented, individual artist. She has, people. She has an entourage, and I think somebody should have caught that. And but at the same time, I don't know that it's worth rewriting the song. I really don't. I think that to some degree,
we can't lose gold like spaz on that ass. Like that's
Like,
just
that
like a
is
part
a
of
lyrical
history. Now that's gonna go
genius.
on the gold record that we shoot into space.
What did? So I watched.
You're right.
Really?
You're right. I guess
Right?
I don't know.
Rewrite
That,
the song. No, I don't
What
know.
did you watch?
As an
Cara?
artist-
I don't know what
was
I
listening.
feel either. Truly. What's up?
What did Daniel I don't know how to say his last name.
Coolidge?
Kulea?
Daniel Kaluuya.
Kaluuya.
Like
The guy
Kahlua.
who's in like Us and
meant
Get
to.
Out.
Oh yeah, Get Out.
He was on Hot Ones.
Great
Okay.
episode.
And
by
they
the way.
asked him like when he goes out to a bar and you get like wasted, like what the UK term was.
Do you
What
remember
was
what
it?
he said?
No.
He said, "This is a great one, and I want to start using. I'm absolutely waved.
Waved.
I'm waved, bro. Like I'm in the
Waved.
waves. That's like I'm
Ocean
drunk.
waved. He said another one too after.
I didn't hear that one.
It really, like, I had a friend from
Something weird.
England stop by not too long ago,
Mm-hmm.
and just talking to her just about like, there's so many cultural differences.
Yeah. Mhm.
And we went out and we like when we took her out to town. We had we went line dancing, and it's like things you never think of. Like there's a couple
Mm-hmm.
bars in San Diego that you can do line
Yeah.
dancing at. She's like, there is like nowhere
Oh,
that
yeah.
I know of in London.
That's
that you
very
can do that.
Western.
Yeah,
Mm-hmm.
and there's just like certain things. So then like everything that has to do with that whole side of like line dancing, I think she had no idea about any of it. And I was
Cowboys.
like, yeah, like they don't even.
There's British cowboys.
Yeah, but like it's
There's
just
literally not.
it was interesting. It was just interesting to like be talking to her, and even like there are like basics like they call pants like pants are their underwear, and like
Wait, what?
yeah. So like when they say pants, like we would call those underwear.
Oh, okay.
Oh, weird.
And then these are trousers.
Oh, trousers.
Raw,
That's what they call their
raw,
pants.
yeah.
And it was just like interesting because like in little things like purse for them, purse is their actual wallet. And so we're like, oh, grab your purse, and they're like, just my purse. Like, what do you mean?
My bag.
Yeah, I
Grab your
don't-
wallet.
Yeah, so it's just
Interesting.
there's like little things
Going to
that
the loo.
yeah, or like
I think if Beyonce wants to sell records in the UK, she should accommodate that culture.
I think the
I
UK
agree.
is big enough that she should have known. Someone should have flagged it.
It's not
I think
like
her people
it's not like
failed her.
a weird random small country or something. It's
yeah,
like
it's not like
Yeah.
in this this small
yes, alien
Latin
audience.
American
Yes,
my
my audience,
Spanish,
my people.
This
Go
translates
ahead.
into what
You're right.
There's probably more Mexicans than there are Americans. so
listen,
you
I-
just check yourself. All right.
Jeez.
Okay,
Wow.
first of all, how did
Wow.
why would how do you know I was talking about Mexico? I wasn't. I
Really,
literally
Latin
wasn't.
American country? Wow,
Wow.
wow,
That speaks Spanish? Wow. Okay, yeah.
wow.
Name them all.
Dang.
I'm not gonna do that because I don't
Yeah,
have
because
to.
you don't know. 'em.
Good
'Cause
I
you
don't
have
know.
to.
You don't
Really,
know.
all the countries that speak Spanish?
Screw you, Ryan. Shut
we're
up.
still
Shut
still
up.
getting over their taking over our culture.
I think at its core, what happened here is Beyonce. Someone should get fired. I mean, right? I
Really?
mean,
Should they?
Ooh, should we
Is
get
that
to
always
choose
the
that?
answer?
I think that or she should hire somebody that to like go through and make sure that these things are checked. Or like even
Yes.
like some of these major countries like UK. Maybe
Yeah,
having
name
somebody.
out the powerhouses. Come on.
I don't. Okay.
China.
F off. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
Russia.
Well, it sounds like it's
Yeah.
just UK because like obviously
Yeah.
UK has English slang words that we
Right.
don't know, but
Sure.
other
Yeah.
countries is entirely different
That
languages.
is hard.
Mm-hmm.
Well, and isn't the whole thing? It's like they call like the vagina button. They call it like that's their
That's the
slang.
whole thing. You're right. That's the entire
Like,
thing.
That's the whole
but
thing?
no, like
Is that
I
the one you
remember
pulled out?
someone said something. When I was a directioner, someone's used the word button in an interview, and I want to say
Okay.
it was like Harry Styles or a couple of them kind of like looked at them, and then they had to explain to the American interviewer what that is slang for.
Oh,
And I was
interesting.
I was like, I would never like what? Like
You
I
were
would
right about
never.
Lizzo.
What did
It was
she
the
say?
same thing.
Yes.
In her
She
recent
said it,
album,
or
she
yeah.
put a
Oh no,
song
it wasn't. It was in a song.
that said it's the song "Girls."
Uh-huh.
I'm a spaz. I'm about to knock somebody out, and it's this one. It's this one
Because
person.
it derives from like muscle spasm, right? Like I'm gonna spaz out, like I'm gonna freak out, flail around.
Oh,
Sure.
I
that's
wouldn't-
that's how I like, oh, I'm a spaz, right?
But it's
like,
just this one girl who is in, what is it called? Just like she's a disability like advocate.
okay.
It's this one person who called Lizzo out. Lizzo apologized
Dang.
and changed it, and then now she called Beyonce out.
Same girl.
Oh, so
Same
it's just
girl.
one person.
Dang, this girl's really got her
She's
finger on the
speaking
pulse
for
of
the-
music, huh?
Yeah.
Because it's like the kind of thing where like
So then maybe Beyonce should have known, right? If like if Lizzo is the first major artist to run into that, maybe
Maybe it was.
Beyonce should have.
Was this
known
an
that.
old song from Beyonce or a new song that came out?
No, this is a
it
brand
just
new
came
one.
out.
it's
Oh.
a new one, and I want to say it's
Oh, then maybe
Beyonce
Beyonce
and
should have
Drake
definitely
or
known
something like
that.
that.
Right. If she watched that go down with Lizzo,
Or like somebody in her
she's
crew
like,
should have known that,
maybe
right?
I'll try. Right. But
Because I
maybe
looked
not,
up.
Maybe it's not as
So
like.
I looked up the definition
Okay.
God.
in Oxford
Okay.
languages, just regular.
Oxford.
It's short for spastic.
Yes.
And it means as a verb, you lose physical or emotional control.
Okay.
And the example is he offered a post game assessment. I spazzed out real bad.
Right.
But then, what does spaz mean in the UK? Offensive slang, an incompetent person.
Oh yeah. So it's like.
yeah. So
Yeah.
it would be like yeah.
Isn't that crazy?
And it's
that,
the
like,
same as imbecile.
As a side note, just slang language in general, that just is so wild to me that we
just a
have
different language.
created like a subset of words that
Yep.
mean different things than like the original intention. That's crazy. to
Oh,
me.
that's language because it's like you can say any noise and sound or whatever.
Yeah.
Like just
Schwa.
jumble letters together.
When I was in elementary school, I had to do like these reading classes.
Okay.
And I remember one, and it was like to teach you how people as English as a second language feel.
Yes.
Because you learn proper English. It was almost like when I remember learning Spanish and then going to Mexico and like saying stuff, and they're like, "Yeah, that's not what that means," or whatever. Because you put like you just like
the way
what's it
you
called?
say
Slang.
it. Yeah.
Yeah, slang.
Yeah.
And in different places, people like California says stuff that, Minnesota is like, what are you talking about?
Yep.
That's not how
Yeah.
you speak English. And so they had it where we would read a line and then it would be like, oh, and Bobby's confused. Why? And then you'd have to like find the parts that of the like sentence where it's, oh, that's actually slang, but you don't realize it. Like let's.
Oh, that's kind of
Like
interesting.
and
Oh my
stuff like that,
gosh.
shorten like abbreviations where if you're learning the proper like English language, you don't learn that until way later.
Right. You're like, oh, that's actually slang.
Yeah, so
know.
you're like, oh, like
Let us.
want to catch a movie with us? And they're like, what?
Catch.
How are you gonna
Catch
catch a
them.
movie?
Especially
Yeah.
here in Southern California too. Like just
Yeah, we got our own little
Have you seen that thing where it's
vocabulary
like,
little
yeah,
vocab.
no, yeah.
Oh, I
yeah,
was
no,
gonna
no,
say
for
that.
sure. And it's like all the different
It's all just
meanings of it.
California.
No,
Like,
yeah.
oh, no, yeah means totally. Yeah, no means
Means
definitely
no.
not. No, no, totally means I want to, but not really.
Language
Yeah.
is so crazy. I want to tell you about my great aunt. She was a missionary, and this is a religious application of language, but so
Okay.
take it for what you want. But her job as a missionary would go. I want to say it was in Brazil,
okay.
and she would go into these like outskirts, like tribes.
Okay.
Like
Yeah.
almost like tribes that hadn't been discovered yet. Like they
Okay.
were living in their own, area of Brazil. And her job as a missionary was to go
Like
in
the Amazon. Like
yeah,
that kind of, okay.
yeah, like go in, learn the language.
Jeez.
I think she has a degree in linguistics, maybe.
That's super cool.
And she would learn the language of the tribe.
Okay.
Then come up with a written system. So almost like letters, but
Wow.
not like our letters. Like however
Yeah.
it fit into the language,
Sure.
or whatever made sense. Come up with a written language and then translate that language into the Bible. Now, the interesting part that was pointed out to me, actually I realized it before I talked to her, but our friend Kat Penning is indigenous. And I immediately thought of her because it's almost like, this is the power of language. It's almost like colonizer energy.
Sure.
Like you're going into a new
Yeah.
place
And you're the
like
one to
telling them
do
like,
this.
oh,
Like,
this is how you
how
write
you
your
write,
language.
yeah.
But like language to me is so insane. Like I thought of this theory, and this is definitely crazy. So don't judge me.
Let's
okay?
hear it.
I thought of this theory that what if we all as humans technically spoke a different language, but the way that we're taught in schools, like my language would just translate to your language because I'm taught what an A is and you're taught what an A is. Now, mine might be definitely different. Like I might be seeing it differently or hearing it differently. But because we're taught the same thing, that's how we can communicate to each other.
Well, have you ever compared that to colorblindness?
Exactly. Yes, it is exactly the same
Oh
theory.
yeah, my purple's not the same as someone who's colorblind's purple.
Yeah.
Right?
Like they're like purple. That,
Or even
wait,
vision, right?
yeah.
Like
Yeah.
like we could all be seeing in a different lens and never know.
That's getting like into that weird deep. I'm thinking what you're thinking. These people think
How
about
do
me.
we?
I'm living
just
in my
because
life.
we reference the same thing doesn't mean like we're looking at the same thing, right?
I don't
Yeah.
like that.
Spiraling.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, it's easy to spiral out. You ever think about like we just watched all the Lord of the Rings movies? That dude, J.R. Tolkien, wrote an entire
The Elvish
language. He wrote
language.
Elvish language so that like he could more, like better write this
Deepen the
story.
lore, yeah.
Yes, and it's like the characters will say something in Elvish,
weird.
and we're just like taking his word for it. He's like, oh, and that means like we're friends. It's like
And he actually built a language?
Yeah,
yeah.
it's a whole. You
Oh,
can
yeah.
learn it.
you
It's a
can also
whole language.
similarly
Oh my gosh.
in
Just
Star
forget
Trek
it.
there's a race of people that speak Klingon.
And it's an actual
And
language.
it's an actual language
So
that, and
weird.
and it's crazy. They'll like offer
People
college classes in it. You
will
can like get
learn
a
Klingon.
And
a minor in
also,
Klingon.
Isn't there a language in Game of Thrones?
that you can also learn. I believe, yeah.
Dothraki.
Did
Ask
you
me
ever,
about fictional languages.
Did you ever do the thing
You're
as a
fictional
kid?
linguistic.
Yeah.
Did you ever do the thing as a kid where you and a
You try
buddy
to
would
make
try
a
and make
new
like a
language?
secret,
Yes.
like a secret
It was
writing
just
pattern?
like Pig
Yeah.
Latin.
It makes
Ooh,
no
Pig Latin,
It's
that
like
was a classic.
hard because it's kind of like going, like think of a different, like think of a new color.
Yeah.
Like you can't.
Well,
do
I had
it.
a buddy of
There's
mine,
only so many
and
colors.
we were really trying to encode the notes we would pass to each other.
Okay.
And so it got so down the rabbit hole that we would have like an index card, and I remember he wrote them out. And it would be like we had normal letters, but we
So you had
assigned them
decoder.
differently. So
yeah.
then like we could go back and write a letter, but then encoding it was almost took like twice as long.
As
Yeah.
if you
Writing
just
the
wrote
letter,
it.
yeah.
Yeah.
And then
Well,
like you'd pass it, and it would just be like,
that's
"Hey,
in
what's
Star
up?"
Wars.
That's
They have
like,
you know,
basic.
In it's called etymology. I had to take a class. Took it in college. It's where schwa came from.
Schwa. It's my favorite
And
word.
it's literally a way that every single person in the whole world can speak the same language. It's
Okay.
literally just a decoding system.
Oh, wow.
Where like schwa is a certain symbol that is ah. It's just ah. Like that is it's the vowel shapes.
It's like noises, right?
That every
Yeah.
single So it's all these like we'd have to do. They'd give us literally a sheet that was all these jumbled letters, but we'd have to go through and decode the whole thing, and then it comes out the same for everyone.
Yeah.
Schwa.
Interesting.
I had a
It's
friend
in the way
growing
that
up.
you use it.
I had a friend growing up, and she and her mom had this like it was kind of like Pig Latin, but I could never figure it out. It was this language that her and her mom and most of her family knew, but they only taught it to the women
That's so
in their
weird.
family and
John.
to the people that were.
You're It's called Spanish.
No, okay, it's not. For the record, it's not Spanish. I swear,
They
it's
only
not.
teach it to the women.
Okay, you know what? Screw you. It's you're gonna make me come off like I'm so incompetent. Please stop. Doesn't matter. I'm just
That's
saying
interesting. But you know what? Honestly, I
It
would
was-
love to have like a secret language among the women in my family.
it was so frustrating.
And then
'cause
all the men would be like,
I was the kid that only had friends that were girls growing up. So every one of like and she was a really close friend of mine. Every one of the friends around us like knew
Teach
it
me.
except for me. And they're like, "Yeah, sorry, we don't teach boys." And I was like,
love it.
Was it
Love
not
it.
just
anti patriarchy?
It wasn't just like Pig Latin.
Matriarchy.
No, it was something different. I promise you, I'll have to text her and have
Yeah.
her record like a little bit of it.
Dang.
isn't there a language like that? It was on like some show or something where they're speaking it so fast.
Yeah, it was so fast when they spoke it.
There's something that like I've seen a video of, and it's like Pig Latin,
Okay.
but
Check
they're
out
like trying to
Whataga, Hutaga.
explain it.
Is that?
Ma-
To the
yeah,
gee to the
that.
guy.
That
To
was
the
the,
gee to
the,
the
the
blah, blah,
wolves
What was that?
spoke that, and it was like
What was it?
It was like Whataga, Artaga, Utaga, Sataga. Like
Oh my
it was-
gosh.
it was really easy, but
Yeah. Was that it?
It wasn't that.
It was something along
different.
It was
those
something
lines,
like
like-
that. It was so weird.
What a go, two to go, what a go.
Yes, I remember them
podcast,
doing that all the
podcast.
time.
Yeah.
Okay, we have to have her on.
But they,
We'll get
I
to the
remember
bottom
them
of it.
trying to explain it to me, and it was like, oh yeah, every vowel changes to this, but then every consonant switches.
Yeah, but everybody loves to just like have a thing,
Gosh.
right?
Oh yeah. Well, and then there's like then I think of accents.
Go ahead.
Right? like
Yeah, who needs them, right?
Well, no, I think it's just so interesting.
ahead.
There's a small island, and I saw this on Sunday morning.
Sunday morning.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well,
Great
you know,
show.
yeah, great show.
Yeah.
And forever ago,
Can't
because
tell
they
if
do
you're
little.
making fun of her. Sunday morning.
Really? You uncultured fool.
You're
don't
all
like
wearing
Sunday morning?
sunglasses
morning?
except for me.
I just can't tell. Go ahead.
Yeah, pop those on, Cara.
My parents love that show.
Yeah, big
Every
fan.
Sunday morning.
It's so interesting.
Well, they do like little mini
Segments.
news segments on like just the most random thing. Like my
Mm-hmm.
dad made me watch one not too long ago about a dog that lost both of its front legs, so now it walks on its hind legs, and it kind of freaked me out. And I was like, turn it off. That freaks me out. I hate that. But this was about this small island off the coast of, I want to say like North Carolina or something like that, where their accents are so deep that people in like North Carolina and like the neighboring like mainland cannot understand them.
Are they like
And they're
Amish?
like, I don't know. No, it's like an insane Southern accent
Mm-hmm.
where it's like almost like if like Louisiana.
Well, what in tarnation?
No, but like you really cannot
you.
understand them.
Thank
And
you.
it's
We've
crazy.
lost our audience.
And they're
What
like,
kind of rigmarole are you saying?
You just sound like a grandma.
you guys-
Well,
if you're listening right now, just know that we are taking applications for a new host spot to replace that
I
of
never
Ryan
heard of no
Tafolla.
Wonder podcast, but back in my day, we go down to the
Why is-
mainland of
why
North
is that-
Carolina, and we'd say all kinds of things.
It's time.
You need a theater, huh?
Hey, speaking of F the patriarchy, we had a great week, man. Us Taylor Swift haters, man.
Yeah.
Wait,
Yeah.
what
What's
did she
going on
do?
with Taylor Swift? Remind me.
okay.
It's just
Her-
that's not just
her
her.
flights.
I thought we already talked
well,
about this
we're-
last week.
Basically,
No.
the
Her
guillotine
flight.
is coming out. Robespierre is ready
Intense
to start eating the
guillotine,
rich.
huh?
We are
eating the
taking a
rich.
look at who is using the most, who is emitting the most CO2 emissions.
Oh my gosh! I looked at the tweets are so good.
Yeah, she's getting Taylor Swift ended up being that she was using more CO2 emissions in like 1 year than any human would use in 500 years.
Taylor Swift
because
and-
of her private jet.
That one's the funniest.
Taylor Swift, Kim K, and Kylie seeing who can get to Starbucks first. And
It's
it's
just
the
like
Blue
fighter
Angels going by.
pilot.
Yeah, these celebrities getting dragged because somebody clocked.
Well, it started
I
with
think
Kylie.
it was Kylie. There's an app, I guess, that you can
Track
track
celebrities.
celebrities' private jet like usage.
That doesn't sound
Yeah,
safe.
we got to download that. But
Gotta have
somebody
that.
tracked Kylie, and she went across LA, a 3-minute jet, ride,
That
just
sounds
from
like
one end
Which,
of LA to the other.
Granted, if you
Go
think
ahead.
about that, it probably saved her an hour.
She could have just taken a helicopter.
You got to board the plane.
Right?
That takes
Kind of the same
20
thing, right?
minutes.
Helicopter's kind of probably just as bad, isn't it?
No, it's so
I
much
wonder.
smaller.
I don't know. But
It's
continue.
bad.
Yeah.
But
So
it's bad.
that
So
is
basically,
dramatic.
we're
It's
dragging
dramatic.
Taylor, we're dragging Kim, we're dragging
Nah,
Kylie.
it's Taylor's not even
she was
talking about
Kara,
because
she's number one. She
it's
has
not
to
in the
answer
news.
for
I
her
know, but it's not in the
consequences.
news anymore.
Yeah, but
'Cause
it
it's
should be.
It's August 1st,
was-
and her song August. Everyone knows now. Just talking about that.
No, I'm gonna drag her now
Guess
that I
what?
know. I'm gonna annihilate her on Twitter
Yeah,
over this.
I'm gonna
now that I know.
ruin her whole
Annihilate her
career.
on Twitter. Oh,
Because she'll see that.
I mean, what do you think? We the Commonwealth, right? We spend so much time
Taylor Swift's been a
reducing
rich kid her whole life.
reducing, our waste.
Well-
We're using paper straws. We're trying to stop our CO2 emissions.
I think as a protest,
And
we
these
should stop
guys are
listening to her
cruising around
music.
here, flying their private jets around,
it
ruining
also
the
depends
environment.
on like what is popular right now. Like right now,
Sure.
like this like I don't even know how to explain it. I feel like I've mentioned it before,
Mm-hmm.
but rich people like wearing and acting impoverished is pretty popular. Like the giant baggy T-shirts with holes all in them.
yeah.
Like
Sure.
that is those would be signs of
Did you
like
see
poverty in the past.
Did you see about the girl from Euphoria?
No.
Talking about Zendaya,
No, the blonde,
I think we would know this is
the blonde girl.
B-Boya.
What's her name?
No.
I just
The-
looked up some stats on Taylor Swift's flying. You gotta hear this.
Hold him in your heart for a second.
Okay, go ahead.
Yeah, wait.
Who are
Okay.
you? Who are you talking about?
The main blonde girl who plays Cassie.
Okay.
Yeah.
She just came out and she was saying like, "Oh, I want to like settle down," because she just got engaged, and she was like, "I'm excited to like settle down, like have kids, all this stuff." And she goes, "But what was it? It was pretty much like, but I need to keep working because I'm poor." Like that was the basis of it,
Okay.
and it was
Oh,
like,
yeah, I
What's
heard
her
about
What's her
this.
point?
she's not poor.
She like compared to
Compared to who?
But
like,
she's got a
just
lot of people.
common-
I guess I read an article saying that she hired on too many people too fast as like a new.
Like
so
a
she's-
manager, an
she's
agent.
paid
Yeah,
out.
talent.
because that's the whole thing about her comment is she's saying like she said that she can't take a vacation because if she does, she like will go like the money will run out because of all the things she's paying out on.
I mean, that's
she also
called-
bought a house
That's called
recently.
on
starting
her.
a career, right? Like,
Yeah.
But that's also that's
yeah,
on her.
I mean, but
Totally.
also they also talked about how in Hollywood, you know, this is like a really old days thing where actors would make like do
Get
a,
their big
a
break.
show, right,
Yeah.
or do a movie and then take like 6 months off, and that's not how Hollywood is anymore. You have to kind of upkeep the maintenance.
You gotta keep working.
which is not out of the norm for sure.
I mean, right?
Or fire somebody. I don't.
even
I don't
Robert
know.
Downey Jr. is still doing movies.
Yeah, he's doing it for
He
fun
doesn't
I
now.
have-
think
he's
I
doing
think
it.
this whole like the you know watching people CO2 out
Emissions.
yeah, everything like that. I think that's just kind of like a fad. Like right now, to be very minimalist and have nothing and you know be like, I don't care what I look like, I don't care about any of this. That is what is popular. When you know super tailored expensive clothes and being rich comes back into style, people are gonna be like, yeah, I took
Yeah.
my private jet 3 minutes across LA, saved me an hour.
It's
Oh,
always
you're
been that
driving.
way,
I was gonna
though.
say, I think that's always been the thing. That's why
Like they're
doing
just paying
it.
a lot of money for stuff that looks
I think there's
like worn.
The separation is us to Taylor Swift, not Taylor
Well,
Swift to
I'm
Kylie.
saying
Like
it depends on what us is holding to value. Right now, we're holding these like living a minimalist, you know,
Well, and
economic
also-
lifestyle to value.
Yeah, climate
And
change is
the-
also
and
a
we're
big
gonna-
thing right now. Yeah.
But the moment it shifts, and
Annie
we're like,
doesn't care
actually,
about climate change, is what she's saying.
Oh,
Yeah.
you believe in
No,
climate change?
I-
I'm kidding. I'm
yeah,
kidding.
really.
I'm kidding.
You know what's
So
crazy
you're gonna
is-
blast a huge
Let
hole
the
in the
record show
ozone.
that I do believe in climate change. Thank you.
Bill Gates has gotten raked over the coals about his private jet usage, and he
Oh,
now,
everybody.
now he'll
Oh,
well,
this
what
was-
he'll
this was
do
her
is
quote,
he'll buy
by the way.
trees. He'll
She
plant trees.
barely earns enough to survive.
That's a lie. That
That's-
she shouldn't
yeah,
have
that's
bought the
rough.
house
And
that she
that's
bought.
insane.
And then
Yeah.
now everyone's like diving into her stuff.
That's
It's
what
like,
she
I'm
said.
sorry, are you homeless? Are you? Can you
She's-
not afford food?
You guys, she's
rough.
grasping at attention, really, mostly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Euphoria season 3 comes out. She'll be
I
right
think,
back on the horse. She'll be fine.
But Bill Gates, what he does is when he takes a flight now. Bill Gates is kind of in the news too lately. He's talking about how he's going to give away all his fortune or something. But then I watched a TikTok, and this guy's like, celebrities will say this, but because everyone's all freaked out, Bill Gates said he's promising to give away all of his fortune before he dies, like a lot of these old rich guys do.
Okay, yeah.
But
Bill Gates,
the
same
guy broke it down, and he said like what these celebrities do when they say that is they give to their own charity.
Estate.
So Bill,
Oh, yeah,
Bill and
sure.
Melinda
Yeah.
Gates have a foundation,
Well,
and their
I doubt-
kids
I don't think.
will inherit a role in that
and they'll
foundation.
end up
Share into-
Aren't they
running the
divorced?
foundation.
Who the
They are,
Clintons?
yeah.
Bill
No,
Gates.
the Gates are.
They just got
Bill
divorced like
Gates.
last year.
Yeah,
You're talking about the
apparently he's had a
Clintons.
number of affairs over the years, but
Does that really surprise you? I'm sorry. Like
Not really.
someone who
It
has
kinda
power and
surprised me
money
with Bill
had an
Gates.
affair.
He's
A
been
little
with
bit.
Melinda for like 20 years.
Yeah, but he's
hasn't he?
getting old. He's probably sick of
how
her.
long has Hillary and Bill been together, huh?
They're still together.
Classic.
Still together.
But basically, what these
Despite
celebrities will
all the-
do is they donate
Okay.
it all to their own foundation, and then that's how the kids inherit it with no taxes. Is they
Oh, yeah, 'cause
they,
it's a
they
gift.
assume roles at this foundation, and then they get at foundations like this.
they get to spend
there's
that
no
foundation
regulations on how
Oh.
much you can pay people.
No, yeah.
like no one's even looking at the records most of the time.
Right.
I'm sure someone's looking at Bill Gates records.
But I'm saying like it's a lot less noticeable than like you getting paid to run Apple for like
Yeah.
for like 5 billion. You know what I'm saying? Whatever it is. You know?
Microsoft. John,
you know-
let's hear the stats. You got
Stats
stats,
about
for
Taylor
us?
Swift. So
And her jet.
her plane took the skies 170 times in the first 200 days of 2022,
what the?
emitting
So she was on a flight every day except for 30, like
Now,
Well, maybe not
All
even
but
her.
30
She's
days.
sending her
but this
jet
is the worst
places.
part. She's not even going on long flights because her total flight time is 6 total days, which I guess is
so
six.
what's that?
6
24
times
hours
24,
times 6.
but like that to me doesn't seem
It's
like
like
that.
an
Somebody do the
hour.
math.
It's like-
144 hours.
Well, think about it.
Like
She probably goes from
hour-
LA to New York all the time.
But that's
144
6
hours.
hours.
She emits
Like-
8,293 metric tons of carbon dioxide, which is that's 22,923 minutes, and then also it's equivalent in the last 7 months. It's equivalent to what 1,184 average people emit in an entire year.
Oh my god.
She's emitted
Shoot,
in
yeah,
7
Taylor,
months.
That's bad. Tay, that's bad.
Yeah, it's
girl.
pretty rough.
That's
So,
rough.
that makes
Have
me
you heard of
happy.
a tour bus? Have you heard
Oh,
of
she
a-
would
Really?
never.
Really? Come
She
on.
would
Oh, that thing would get
never.
hijacked so fast.
I've been seeing tweets that are like Taylor Swift after all this stuff's been coming out, and it's like her going to her tour on a bike. Like, oh, good for the environment now.
It's, this one's it's a picture of a drone. It says, or a plane, and it says, Taylor Swift on her way to the fridge for a midnight snack.
Oh.
Nice. Look, here's the thing. When I make it big, am I just gonna not get a private jet? Come on.
Definitely. Well, that's the
on.
other thing is, to
Of
some
course.
degree, this is like cancel culture, right? Like,
Oh, yeah.
Like,
Okay, go on.
Like we have to just let people live their lives, and that's
Do
just
we?
the way it is.
I mean,
you know?
we're
Okay, I wanna
cohabitating this earth.
I want to know
right?
the stats of like all the planes that like normal planes because private jets are small.
Yeah, but there's like 200 people on that plane when the normal
Right.
planes. It's like
Yeah.
divide that up between 300 people
250
going to
people,
LA.
guess.
You know what I'm saying? Like that's
Right.
not that bad.
I'm sure
As
there are
opposed to
times
like
where
Taylor
it's
Swift
Taylor
and like
Swift
her
and-
Going to get a
homies
coffee.
and Jake
5 people.
Gyllenhaal like going across town.
Oh yeah, like she'd
Okay.
invite Jake in.
I'm
right
defending-
now, right?
listen, I'm
Really?
Yes.
Like he's not in on the whole deal.
No.
Come on.
I'm defending
please.
Taylor Swift. Now, what I think you'll see in celebrities and people like that are taking these planes, like what Bill Gates has claimed to do. I don't know if he's actually done it, but I think these celebrities will start pledging to being like, oh, well, I'll pledge, every time I fly, I'll pledge $2,000 to
just
planting
like Amber
trees.
Heard,
You know what I'm
Amber Heard
saying?
and
Like,
her,
Really?
"I'ma
Do you
pledge
care that
my
much
5
about the
million."
environment? Stop using your plane. What do you mean you need a private jet?
Okay.
You
oh,
rich
Taylor
fuck?
Swift's gonna
really?
fly commercial?
Sure.
She
Why
would
not?
get jumped so fast.
Maybe that was a problem she should have figured out before the
How
whole.
am I defending Taylor Swift right now?
I know. I was gonna pay
because
attention
he's
to that.
he's going over the line.
Because she's rich.
No, because I realize. Okay.
Okay,
No, I'm
if
saying-
either if
I'm
any
saying-
of us got that rich, would you really fly commercial?
I'm saying it's all
No.
talk
No.
until a certain point. Really, like if she obviously doesn't. She hasn't made a big statement, so I'm like ripping her before she even gets a chance to defend herself. If she came out and was like, you know what, like you said, I'm gonna plant a tree for every. Because I care about the environment, and I don't want to like all you peasants
She'll be
to
fine.
think I don't. It's like, really, if you care about the environment so much, stop destroying the environment. Do it.
Yeah, but, like-
literally do
Well,
it.
yeah,
How
and
do you
at some
not-
point it's like, okay, well, what is she flying to? Like, what is
Yeah.
it? Why are?
Yeah, where
I
she
guess
going
you're
across
right.
town.
Why is your
You're
studio
going to
like?
you're going from Santa Monica
Like,
to
build a studio at where you
freaking-
live, right?
Like
Echo
where,
Park,
oh, you're
like-
gonna spend 3 months in
No,
New York
that was
instead
Kylie.
of flying to
They didn't say that
LA.
about
Might as
Taylor.
well just freaking build a studio in New York or what? Like
Yeah, that's true.
you have that
Logistically.
money. Like how much money you're spending to charter your plane?
And I'm sure, and we're
get a
talking
pilot.
about these three names.
Oh yeah,
Guaranteed every
Well,
celebrity
you know
that
what
we
I was
love
just thinking
is on a
about
freaking
is
private jet.
There, I recently went to a church that is a mega church, and it has a very wealthy pastor. And he had mentioned that he was ill, and I know for a fact that prior to that he was on like a yacht a couple weeks prior, and then
Okay.
before that he was on a cruise to Alaska with family.
What's
and
your
I
point?
was like, well,
The
and
church is to
what
blame
made
again,
me,
Annie.
Well, what made me think of it is like, okay, well, like how much when this all got brought up, like, okay, well, how much is his private jet? How much is he
Sure.
doing that? Like, I would love to see like the people who are already skating under the radar for
Mm-hmm.
being like, oh, they're already good people, they're religious figures. No, I want to see how
Yeah.
much the Pope is spending in flying around, making
So
appearances.
the question is, you can get these records. Are flight records public? Is that
What is
how
it?
they're
The
figuring this
CO2?
out?
There's an
emissions?
app you can get that.
I think what they're gonna do is, I like it. We see
Oh, the app will
everything.
go away, for
The
sure.
app's gonna go away, and also some legislation is gonna get passed where like you can privately fly, and it doesn't have to be public record. You know what I'm saying? Like I think
No.
that's where it's gonna end.
I think
Yeah, I
post
think that
9/11
probably is.
that'll never happen.
Oh, maybe.
We got to know where everybody is up in the air.
yeah, but the government can know, but it doesn't have to be public record.
Ooh,
Oh, really? So Big Brother can watch, but the people
I'm just
can't
saying,
watch.
if you're talking about national security, yes, the government should know. But I'm saying, should some Joe Schmo that can look it up on the internet know? Probably
Really,
not.
you mean American taxpayer? Yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's keep him
if
in
the
the dark.
government is
Let's
charting
keep
a
American
flight, we should
taxpayer in the
know.
dark.
But I'm saying,
Joe Schmo.
You want to hear what the Pope is doing about it?
you're out of your mind.
Look, I don't care. Like
care. He's
not gonna
everybody,
let you talk.
look, Pope can fly. Taylor can fly. Everybody can fly. But don't then turn around and tell me I got to use a paper straw.
Oh,
just
so
don't do
this is
it.
about you.
It's always been about me.
Okay, got it.
The
I got it.
masses.
Got it. And yourself.
Don't turn around and be like, yeah, we can change the world. We can make it a green
You don't
place.
have to use paper straws anymore. They made plastic ones that decompose in 2 years.
You know what?
But-
Good. Make better ones.
I think
man.
that's.
They
I think
have
that's
great
kind of
ones out
always been the
avocado
thing.
picks
It's
that
like
are amazing.
Yes, those
you
are
can
good.
make your own opinion, and you
don't
can decide
put the
to not
burden
do that.
of like bearing, greenhouse
Yeah,
emissions.
before
on
you come
me.
after me, come after Taylor Swift. That
That's what
makes
I'm saying.
sense.
I-
You're
if
right.
we're
Okay,
gonna
listen
come
to
after
Annie.
anyone,
Listen
go
to
ahead.
Annie.
So
Go
the
ahead.
Pope Francis in 2020 literally just like, Uno reversed it and was
Got
like,
it.
hey, I urge all countries to work towards a net zero carbon emissions and committed the Vatican City to be the world's smallest state as it comes to carbon emissions by 2050.
The Vatican City is like as big as San Diego, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, he's like, hey, we'll do
Awesome.
it. You guys
We're
should do
gonna
it
do
too.
it.
Awesome.
Like, they're like,
Madagascar's
hey,
like, yeah, us
how much
too.
are your carbon emissions? And the Pope was like, we need to work together.
Yeah.
He immediately dodged the
2050.
question.
We love that guy.
Immediately. And I'm like, genius. Because
Because
all of
there's
them
no
are like,
because there's
pledge.
no answer that doesn't end with I'm getting rid of my private jet.
You know what
that's
needs to
the
happen?
only-
They just
Or
need
the
to come up.
Popemobile.
I know that it's really hard
love
and there's a
that
lot of work
Popemobile.
into it, but I think the thing is just like coming up with an electric plane, right? I mean, like that's got to be the next step, right?
Yeah.
It's pushing to that.
Oh, and you think Elon's not working on that?
Oh no, he is.
Freaking putting his Tesla like
But I'm
logo
just
on
saying,
the top.
don't
of
you
that
think
thing?
that like our energy and resources are better off like funneling into something like that rather than funneling into shaming somebody else to stop using
isn't
regular
there
planes?
something about like electric emissions? Like what was that?
Yeah,
thing?
it actually. I mean, that's
It's
kind of the
insane.
problem. Is the like generators that it takes to make that kind of electricity.
Are also
Yeah.
just as
They're
bad.
also ruining the environment.
Yeah.
We are
Yeah.
destroying this planet. It will be gone in the next 100 years. So
Yeah.
let's
100
just
years?
do it.
No, I say the next like 3,000.
I think it's gonna. Yeah, it's gonna take
gonna
longer
take
than
a long
100
time.
years, bro.
I'm gonna say
We still have
already-
we still
I'll already
have
be dead.
giant forests that have not been.
The Amazon's going
Like,
down every day.
Yeah, I don't think they're as giant as we think.
I think
Oh,
they're
I
getting
think
smaller
so.
and smaller.
I don't know.
I'm gonna say in the next 200 years. Now, obviously,
my
I can't
gosh.
prove that unless
Now,
I live.
how long until like democracy collapses? Because that
Ryan
has happened before,
lives
right?
200 years just to be as prideful as can be and spite us.
Are you asking me like what I think the end of the world will
Yeah,
be?
yeah. Wait, how long
Yeah,
until
yeah. You
like
know what, Ryan?
till
Go for
governments
it.
collapse and
That's
then
a good
we
question. Will
devolve?
big business?
I don't even think that's gonna happen. I think it's gonna be like the dinosaurs.
I think
No,
we're.
we're
I think
rats
we're gonna.
in cages. We're
We're gonna nuke each other.
Yeah, for sure.
I'm gonna say
yeah.
final answer. We nuke each other. It's like Fallout apocalypse. And then the.
What's our game plan for that? Like,
I'll
done.
be dead.
We're
no.
done.
No,
Oh,
You
I'm
don't
sorry.
think there's
The
even a
first,
try?
you remember long,
Yeah.
long struggle, long road to recovery or death. Death.
No, I'm not
Death.
saying.
I don't know.
I'm saying you don't get an option. Unfortunately,
You just die instantly.
Oh,
Think
I
of
don't
our-
get an option?
Annie, think
Uh-uh.
of our geography. Think of our geography. Where are we right now? We're on
Have
the
you ever been-
southernmost
Yeah,
part
we'll
of
get
the west
tsunami
coast.
and drown and
no,
die.
No, we're not
That's
getting
fine.
wet.
Have you ever done the nuke test on? There's like a bomb simulator,
Uh-huh.
and
Like,
it's a
if it
map,
nukes
and you can
somewhere?
see you can put in a place or an address, and it's like, okay, if a nuke was dropped here,
Mm-hmm.
and it shows you the different like radiuses of like. All these people would
Of
literally be
destruction.
like evaporated,
yeah.
and
We're
all these
done.
people would have severe burns, and all these people would feel it, and it like shows you, and I'm like, I'm done.
We're
and we
one-
live in a freaking
Yeah.
military town.
We're one of
that's
3
true.
major West Coast cities in California, and we're looking across the water at North Korea. Like once, not if, but when it goes down, we're done. Like for sure.
I don't know.
Yeah.
What do you think, John?
I don't know. I mean, you're probably right.
If that doesn't happen, I say we have 200 years left.
the problem is like no one will we will never know.
I don't think
Ryan's gonna live that long.
honestly.
That
I
on the
think
podcast.
They download my
I
subconscious
think
into a
it's
computer.
not going to happen that soon, especially nuking, because trading is such an essential thing for every country. Everyone needs different things from different countries.
I think to some degree, I think. Wow,
I don't know.
I'm
I think
agreeing
the
with
more we
Cara,
get
which
connected-
is
Thank
such a
you.
fun
Oh, what
podcast.
a novelty.
I know it's so weird. I think Cara is right in the sense that it's gonna have to take some real like devolving to get to that point, because I think we all have this mutual reassurance to go like, okay, if I click this button, then they're definitely gonna click theirs, and then it's all over, right?
I'm sorry, we're not that connected if we didn't all know that spaz was a slur. And
Oh, now you just said
other-
it, Annie. You
the
said it
other
again.
English.
Go ahead, yeah,
You
no,
said it
go
again.
ahead.
Okay,
In
yeah,
the
out of
other
all the things I
English.
could have
You're
canceled myself
alienating our
over.
audience over there in the
Thanks,
UK.
UK.
Thank
Sorry,
you so
UK.
much, our large UK following.
We could find out. We might have it.
Well, not anymore.
Well,
Well, comment if you're watching from the UK.
They won't. They're offended.
It's
All
an-
of them are
it's
No,
offended.
an
and if you
AI.
even know if that's
if I get
It's an
canceled
AI.
if
We
I
love
get canceled
podcasts.
in England.
we love
Oh my gosh,
podcasts.
cute, love that.
I think we made it very clear over the past couple of years that we went through a freaking global pandemic and just all the major
When?
superpowers that
don't
had
know.
the ability to like do some real good in that time. They all made money off of it. So I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm just not really even
What
considering.
about the active war in Ukraine that we're now not
We're
even
just
talking
like
about?
our voices are like hardly even a part of the noise anymore. Until we get our hype house, you know,
Then
we're
we're gonna make a
screaming
difference.
into the void right now
So
every
I'll
week
call up Destiny.
on Friday
Yeah.
morning.
I have a new email from her. I haven't opened a couple new listings.
Go ahead.
You guys are okay with Compton, right?
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
good.
Okay.
I'm actually
I said
prefer-
LA. I never said what part of LA.
I'll let her know.
preferred for me.
Great. Well,
Wow.
I got a little doomsday at the end there. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, it
Yeah,
always
you guys-
does typically.
Pretty
I
hot
wanna
out
mention-
here in
I-
Santee.
It's insane.
I'd
It's
like to
global
mention the
warming.
Padres. I wore this hat on purpose.
The what?
Yes.
If you're watching this episode, you already probably know that Juan Soto came to the Padres today.
Yes.
Also
Was signed to the Padres.
traded
That's right.
Eric Hosmer.
Yeah, well, I don't know.
Sayonara.
I'm
Good riddance.
That's
I was
fair.
kind of hot and cold about Eric Hosmer because he is a decent first base player and he's got a good batting average this year, but he's kind of also
He's all over
Have
the
you looked
place.
up? Okay,
He-
so
he
I went
really
to the
can't hit a
Padres
ball,
game.
to be
I went to
honest.
the Padres game.
Okay.
Padres.
And I looked up the difference in their salaries. 'Cause we were talking about like how much do they make?
it's a lot.
Oof.
The lowest, there's like 10 people who have the lowest salary or all have the same salary,
Uh-huh.
which is a measly $700,000.
Whoa.
That's what Jake Cronenworth is getting paid. I'm pretty
You
sure.
wanna know what Manny Machado makes?
Yeah, he's ridiculous.
Oh, he's a fun.
$30 million.
Yeah, of course.
Well, for he has
Bro,
to
he's a home
finish
run
his
hitter.
Annually.
A year.
Annually.
A
All
year.
of
well
this
because
is
he has to
annual.
he has
For
to
the next-
finish his contract
Yeah,
a
he's
10-year,
a-
to get all
10-year
that
contract
money.
for $300
Annie,
million.
let's also look at the stats though. Manny
Hits
you know,
balls.
He's
he's
got
the best.
freaking
Doesn't he have the best
batting average, I
yeah,
think, in the
in
league.
the-
right
in
now.
the
Oh,
league.
just wait until they
He's
come
literally
out
the
and
best
see
hitter.
what we acquired Juan Soto for.
right?
Yeah.
I was
Yeah.
I
Right.
was
That's
sitting at that
psycho.
game and I'm watching him play.
You just
and I
can't-
go,
you just can't enjoy
he-
something, huh?
No,
Just
but
can't
I'm
do
just
it.
like I'm amazed at like he's doing this because I'm like that is a lot. Like because I was asking my friends, I was like, would
Mm-hmm.
you guys do this? Like you're breathing in like you are living and breathing this sport. Like they don't really have a lot of social life outside of the baseball.
It's what you love to do, though.
Yeah, it's like you practice constantly. Then you play constantly. You're
And then you
traveling
hurt
constantly
yourself.
for it. Yeah, and then
But
you
you're
have to
still
do
getting
it.
you're still getting
get
paid.
stabbed.
But you're still getting paid for being on the IL.
But they play a lot of games though. They play like
Yeah.
They're
114
constant,
games.
and you
something like that.
have to like
Today
stay
was
in
a
shape, you
doubleheader.
have to work.
Hang out with strippers.
As a side note, we
Get
also
stabbed.
signed the hometown kid Joe Musgrove. Anyone want to guess for how much? If you know, don't say.
$10.
Yeah.
$7 or
I already
$8
know.
dollars.
Nine.
It's for five. It's for 5
Nine.
years.
Yeah.
For
5
Okay,
years.
12.
Is it? Wait. Is it astronomical? Is it like Manny Machado
It's like
status?
mid range. I'd say it's mid range
I'm gonna
comparative to some of the other
say
Padres.
for the next how many years?
5 years.
5.
$2
He's
mil.
gonna make $50 million.
$2 million a year. So yeah, for 5 years.
$100 million.
Yep.
He's making $20 million per year for 5 years.
We love to see
Yeah.
it though.
But like,
He's
okay,
the best, though.
you have to think of this too. Like, do I think that professional athletes are way overpaid? Yes, but I also think actors are way overpaid.
And there you go.
But
Not Sydney Sweeney.
Yeah, she's
yeah,
not
I
paid
don't know
enough.
who- Oh yeah,
She's surviving.
She's barely
She's
surviving.
just surviving.
Razor thin margins.
But you got to think like, okay, you get hurt. If this is what you have your whole life built on,
No,
that's
these
kinda like
contracts
that
pay
20
out. They
but
pay
I'm-
out, though.
But I'm saying like that you better be putting that away
If you get
because if
traded,
you can only
does
do
your
this for like
contract-
10 years.
So
Can you get traded
we
on a
traded
contract?
Hosmer.
Okay.
And Hosmer had like 5 or 6 years left in his contract. It was $100 and something million.
They pay like the Padres out.
Yeah, but the Padres are
they strike a deal?
they're not paying the full amount. So the Padres
It's like a
either has to
sunset clause.
subsidize the amount, or the Nationals will, he traded to the Red Sox. The Red Sox will accept
the rest of his contract.
no, they'll either Padres have to pay the Red Sox for the allotted amount. I don't know how much it is. Nobody knows. Or the Padres has to supply them with players to subsidize the amount. So like Padres is a big farm
Well, that's
team.
like how people get like 3-to-1 players.
Some of the best players in the league actually started in the Padres farm team, because like that's the one thing we're good at is building players up and then essentially giving them away. That's kind of our reputation
for money.
Classic.
Yeah, and so so that's kind of the thing. That's what they do. Is it's either you have to pay the contract, or there's sometimes a side deal that happens,
right,
where the Padres will feed them some players depending on all that.
Just see and hear how much they spend on these people, and then I look at the Pod Squad room.
And you're like, hey.
And you're like, this
and
is
I'm like,
justice
so
for the
sad.
Pod
What
Squad.
the heck? And they can't even get us new jerseys.
Yeah.
No,
Justice for
guaranteed.
the
Are you
Pod
surprised
Squad.
though? I mean,
Yes.
Can we talk
We
about
were like working the Friday games for like the new City Connect.
it's kind of like Disneyland. They don't pay. They don't pay their Disneyland
City Connect for a
Disneyland
second.
employees that well, right?
Those colors
It's kind
are-
of growing on me.
That's what everyone says. I
Yeah.
think the City Connect jerseys and colors are horrendous.
I think they were
Ooh,
kind of
hot take.
ugly coming out, but now
But
seeing
now-
everyone in the park, it's fun.
That's what everyone says. It's because I went to on Friday for the like $5 cocktail day
Yeah.
or whatever, and it was City
What?
Connect, and
Oh,
I was
that's
like,
cool. You go with the
Yeah,
other
I was
friends?
busy,
Did you go with the
actually.
other
I was
friends?
busy.
You went with the other friends, right? The ones that helped you move?
anyway.
It was $5 cocktail night, and you didn't call me. You
Yeah,
literally
no,
were
that's
like,
cool.
Maybe Ryan, no.
Pass.
Maybe John, no.
Pass.
Really getting drunk on a Friday night? Yeah, I was busy.
Yeah. What the heck?
I don't
Annie?
even care what you have to say.
Me either. Quick trivia. You know who had a hand in the City Connect jerseys? It was a player on the team. You know who it was?
Manny Machado.
Tatis.
Kill him.
no.
It was Tati Junior.
Joe Musgrove
Well, it was
had
Joe.
Joe Musgrove had a
Did he?
hand in creating.
Oh,
the
and
City
you know what he
Connect
did on
king.
Saturday?
Did he choose the colors?
You know what he did on Saturday?
What
What?
do you do?
He had a
He
hand
kissed
in
a
him.
puppy.
So I came to work on Saturday.
He
And
shook your
he
hand.
looked
And
at you.
it's like normal Jersey day, whatever. I was in charge of puppies. So me and the people in charge of puppies are walking them around. We get a
puppies.
call and say everyone needs to change into their City Connect jersey because Joe Musgrove wants to wear them for Miles McPherson.
Okay. And so you
You
had to
didn't
put him
have
on.
it.
So we put them on. Well, we just get shirts. And we have them
I
in the
mean,
room.
that's
So we're
what-
like,
yeah,
that's-
you guys
hey.
can't afford them, huh?
That's our $100
But
million
he wanted
boy,
to do
really.
it because it was the Phil Wickham concert and like Miles McPherson and everyone from The Rock. Like
I saw
all
Phil
these
Wickham
big
in
people.
Hawaii. I didn't tell you guys that.
Did
What?
I fully saw Phil Wickham in Hawaii. I did. Me and Jordan did. He was in this like blacked out SUV, and he was
Oh,
parked in the
random.
back of the Hyatt, which is like that bougie hotel
Yeah.
in
Dang.
Maui. And we were parked in there because we were going to go get shaved ice, and of course this hotel had it by the pool. And we saw him. I didn't say anything to him, and I was so nervous.
I wonder,
don't know why I
did he look
didn't.
like he was on vacation? I wonder if he had a show.
Oh yeah, he. And then I looked, and there was some big Christian conference. I think somebody flew him in to play.
Wow.
Yeah. So
But yeah,
he
he had
came
a
to the Potter
concert.
game, really. Oh
yeah,
no.
he had a concert after
Oh wow.
in the park.
Interesting.
But yeah,
good
Joe
to hear.
Musgrove was like, "Hey, I want everyone to wear the City Connect."
Okay,
So we get
question.
the call, and it's
He's
like,
worth
Question.
$100 million.
Cara, this is a question for you. Not to put you in a bad spot.
yes.
Joe Musgrove comes up to you and says, "I think you're the prettiest woman alive.
You cheat on Ryan, right?
We can't
For
we
how
need to
much?
get married." Mind you, he just signed a $100 million contract.
Yeah.
Oh, you want to get married?
He also has a wife.
Okay.
Okay, let's just say
I'm gonna break it off. I'm gonna
Hold
break it
on.
off with my wife,
And I
wanna
want you to marry you right now. What's your thoughts?
Can you be my sugar daddy?
Okay.
Smart, genius.
Are you open to
Okay, so,
threesomes?
so you're
She wants to keep
you're
Ryan.
wheeling
She
and
wants the
dealing.
best of both worlds.
That's sweet.
How does he feel about a throuple?
Oh,
Oh,
God. That's
he'd
true.
love it.
I'd ask him that.
No, you wouldn't.
I'd marry him.
You'd say, "Hey, you can be my side
That's the difference
piece,
between
but I
us and
got-
our wives.
I'm already
We
committed.
immediately go,
It costs a lot
yes.
to divorce someone.
Yes.
I
You
legally
guys,
married this
you
guy
guys,
for
I
past
already,
annulment.
we already did shows with like his sister and like,
Okay.
we're already in the family.
Okay. Really? Okay.
It's like,
so
oh,
Joey-
we're already in the family. We're
Joe,
connected.
okay.
Joe,
You're not in the
hey,
family
baby.
that much.
Final thoughts. Annie, yes or no on the city colors?
No, I don't like him.
Annie's a no. Cara?
Yes.
Cara's a yes. John?
I say yes. I like him.
I want to say no now because it's like, even.
You
but
like him.
But you
though.
I
like
like
'em.
them. I
Yeah.
can't help it. They're
When
cool.
they first-
Everyone
they
told
first
me
came
that
out,
they'll
they were
grow on
weird.
me. I
Annie,
think they'd
you
be
don't
cool
like to have
colors.
fun,
No,
so
no,
it'll
here's-
never be good for you. You know what I'm
True.
saying? You'll
True.
never like
I
it.
like
Get
the
her.
ones where it's just the hat and it's
the
everything
hats
else
are
is normal and it's
Mm.
just the different colors.
Yeah.
I think what like kind of like kills me is that it's like a different logo and the San Diego is different and like different font.
Oh, I like
and like the
it.
branding's different, and that's where I'm like,
Just like Marvel, Annie doesn't like the idea that you
Okay,
could
but walking
enjoy
around-
a legacy
walking around
team
in the
like the
park-
Padres.
I do
not.
love looking across the whole stadium and seeing the bright pink.
Yeah.
You're like, hey, City Connect,
Hey.
love it.
Yes.
And you do
It's
love
fun.
Marvel. That's the thing. It's crazy.
You just haven't admitted
Gosh.
it yet.
All right, we got to wrap this thing up.
Wow.
Hey,
$100
I
million
love other
Joe
people loving
Schmo.
it.
I love Joe Musgrove. He's awesome.
Man,
he's got
it's
a great
flipping hot
record
in
this
here.
year.
Yeah.
It's just good to have like a, a
Joey?
hometown boy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He has a
I think
bobblehead.
Hey,
He has a
prediction?
bobblehead day next week.
Prediction? I think he'll get another no-hitter wise with the Padres. At least one in the next 5 years.
My prediction is
I'll double that, and I'll see your prediction and raise you. He's gonna throw a perfect game in the next 3 years.
Oh my gosh, that'd be so awesome.
my prediction is everyone's gonna start calling him Joey.
Joe
People
Schmo.
already do.
Yeah, okay,
Oh,
Annie.
bullshit. Okay.
Yeah, no, thanks for
That's
coming.
done.
I don't.
Yeah, good
Gosh
one.
dang.
So when I fight, I will fight on my knees, with my head lifted high.
Oh gosh.
Oh God, this is copyrighted, right?
No way.
Not the way you're singing it.
Oh jeez. She's making burn you, bro.
burn.
Hey,
And that's
that was
it.
straight up Phil Wickham right there.
Uh-huh.
Straight up.
All right.
Dang.
On the couch, as always, Cara Tafolla, Andy the Skov. I'm Ryan.
I'm John.
We'll see you next week on
What the Podcast?
A doobie-doo.